YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta and on TikTok at Ogun State Television. In other news, the federal government has adopted a public-private partnership-driven housing strategy to tackle Nigeria's growing housing deficits, placing private sector investment at the center of mass housing delivery across the country. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, disclosed this in Ilorin during the 14th National Council on Land, Housing and Urban Development meeting. Speaking through the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics in the Ministry, Alhaji Mukhtar Liasu, the Minister said the new national housing framework is anchored on effective land administration, urban renewal and strong public-private collaboration. He noted that Nigeria's housing deficit, estimated in the tens of thousands, remaining one of the country's most pressing socio-economic challenges, driven by rapid urbanization, population growth, rising construction costs, and weak land administration systems. The Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, shall conduct the swearing-in ceremony for the newly appointed permanent secretaries, Statistician General, Principal General, and Head Teachers General in the Public Service of Ogun State on Wednesday, 21st January 2026. A statement from the State Head of Service, Mr. Kehinde Onosoya, indicated that the ceremony for the new appointees, including 9 permanent secretaries, 1 Statistician General, 2 Principals General, and 4 Head Teachers General, shall be held at the Obas Complex Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Okemoto Abeokuta, by 11 in the morning. The new appointees are Permanent Secretaries Mr. Abdulaziz Oludare Ajidele, Mrs. Olufumilayo Yetunde Shoyoyebeka, Mrs. Adebimpe Folusho Bienu, Dr. Mrs. Kafayat Mudupe Lawal, Mr. Ahmed Bayo Adetono, Mr. Aido Oladapo Yonsoya, Mr. Olalekan Peter Taiwo, Mr. Akintomiwa Oluwagbemini Oshibodu, Engineer Kehinde Olukayode Akintomide, Statistician General Mrs. Omolara Adebukola Adebayo, Principal General Mr. Matthew Adeyinka Oshilesi Remo Division, Mr. Yakubu Olorunyomi Lamidi Ijabo Division, Head Teachers General Mr. Benjamin Olusegun Alonge Ijabo Division, Mrs. Aminat Folake Busari Remo Division, Mr. Olusegun Nathaniel Kapo Yewa Division, Mrs. Folake Omolara Onobaju Egba Division. The Head of Service explained that all members of the State Executive Council, new appointees and guests are enjoined to be seated at the venue of the ceremony by 10:30 in the morning. In a bid to find a lasting solution to the alleged land encroachment by officers of the Nigerian Army, Sappers, Barracks, Ilishe, which affects Akure, Jebu, and adjoining communities, the Ogun State House of Assembly has passed a resolution calling on the state government to liaise with the federal government and the military hierarchy to explore the possibility of providing the military with an alternative shooting range in view of recent developments in the area. The passage of the resolution followed the presentation of the report of the House of Committee of the whole House by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Bonanli Latifat Ajay. Kolawole Osho's report is presented in this package.
According to the report of the House Committee of the whole House, read by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Bonanli Ajayi, the lingering land dispute between the Nigerian Army and the communities of Apunre Jebu and Ijebu Mushi, both in Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State, has persisted for approximately 5 decades. Honorable Ajayi read further that the land dispute largely resulted from the failure to properly document and gazette the early decision that reduced the portion of land allocated to the Nigerian Army from the initial 1,820 acres to 1/10 of it. The report therefore recommended that the state government should engage relevant senior military authorities to review and reconsider the decision reached earlier.
So the state government should establish appropriate mechanisms to prevent further military encroachment into the affected areas.
Following the passage of the resolution, the Speaker directed the Clerk of the House to forward copies of the report and its recommendations to the State Governor and other concerned stakeholders, including the federal ministries, the leadership of the National Assembly, heads of security formations, especially the Nigerian Army, for necessary action.
The Ogun State government has confirmed that a medical doctor has been remanded in prison for allegedly issuing a fake medical report to help a popular blogger, Adetun Onojobi, also known as Just Adetun, evade police arrest. This was contained in a statement issued by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Oluwashino Ogungbade son. According to the statement, Adetun, an internet personality, has over the years been accused of bullying, harassment and using offensive language against individuals on social media platforms. The matter escalated following an accident involving boxing champion Attorney Joshua in Ogun State. Adetun allegedly posted videos claiming there was no ambulance service anywhere in the state and further accused Governor Dapo Abiodun of being in Ghana instead of attending to the boxer's welfare. Ogungbade described the allegations as false, malicious and misleading, stressing that Ogun State operates several state-owned and state-supported ambulance services. He noted that such claims pose a public safety risk by misinforming residents about available healthcare services. Consequently, the state reported Adetun to the police for alleged violations of the Cybercrimes Act 2015. The police reportedly invited her for questioning on January 5th, 2026 after issuing a formal notice on the 2nd of January. However, she failed to honor the invitation and allegedly went into hiding, despite earlier boasting that she had evidence to substantiate her claims. While in hiding, Adetun reportedly released another video claiming she was ill and unable to report to the police. Subsequently, her lawyer submitted a letter to the police attaching a medical report from a Lagos-based doctor stating that she was medically indisposed. Police investigations later revealed that the medical report was fraudulent. The doctor who authored it allegedly confessed that he never met, examined or treated Adetun, contrary to the claims in the report. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Malam Larry Nilu, has condemned in the strongest possible terms the dangerous, irresponsible and condemnable act of scooping fuel from a floating tanker as witnessed at the Liverpool Beach, Apapa area of Lagos State. According to the DG, the practice is completely unacceptable in a modern society and poses an extreme and unavoidable threat to human life, public safety and national infrastructure. The risks involved are not limited to those directly engaged in the act. The collateral danger to motorists, nearby communities, emergency responders and critical assets is enormous and far outweighs any perceived or imagined benefits. The Director General stated unequivocally that this behavior cannot be justified under any circumstances. This is not poverty. What we are witnessing is a conscious, reckless and criminal disregard for human life and public safety. He recalled that Nigeria has in the past recorded several tragic incidents across different parts of the country where fuel tanker accidents led to explosions and infernos after people attempted to scoop fuel, resulting in the loss of hundreds of lives. These recurring tragedies, he stressed, are painful reminders that this menace is recurrent, preventable, and must no longer be tolerated. In view of the grave danger posed by the practice, the Director General called on the National Assembly to urgently initiate and enact comprehensive legislation that will expressively criminalize the act of fuel scooping from falling tankers and prescribe firm, clear, and deterrent penalties for perpetrators. According to him, sustained public enlightenment must now be complemented by strong legal and enforcement frameworks to decisively end the deadly behavior. Nilu emphasized that this trend must not be allowed to continue, adding that Nigerians must collectively reject actions that repeatedly lead to mass casualties, national trauma, and avoidable loss of life, while reaffirming the agency's commitment to intensifying its value, reorientation, and safety advocacy across the country. Prominent socio-political organizations, including Afenifere, Arewa Consultative Forum, Ohaneze Ndigbo, the Middle Belt Forum, and others, have expressed outrage over a plan by Katsina State government to release 70 bandits as part of measures to patch up a floundering peace pact with bandit leaders. The groups in separate interviews described the move as reckless and a danger to national security, calling on the federal government to halt the provocative action. Also, religious and community leaders in Katsina State voiced strong opposition to the proposed amnesty for the bandits, whom they described as a grave threat to the state. Katsina State is dealing with a surge in bandit attacks with over 1,500 civilians killed between 2021 and 2025. Recently, the state government approved the release of 70 suspected bandits as part of a peace deal with armed groups. The move has sparked controversy, with critics arguing it undermines justice and emboldens criminals. More than 50% deaths in newborn babies in Nigeria have been attributed to malnutrition. President Pediatric Association of Nigeria PAN, Dr. Ekanem Ekure, dropped this hint at a press conference heralding PANCOV Gateway 2026, which provides a national platform for pediatricians and stakeholders to troubleshoot the challenges facing the Nigerian child. Fora Adesonwu has a report.
Ahead of the 57th Annual General Meeting and Scientific Conference of Pediatric Association of Nigeria PAN, scheduled to hold in Abeokuta, Lagos State capital, from Wednesday 21st of January to the 23rd of January 2026, the President of the Association, Dr. Ekanem Ekure, has provided an insight into the challenges facing the profession of the Nigerian child.
Sadly, in our most recent National Health Demographic Survey, the neonatal mortality rate increased. We're expecting it to come down, but it went up. In the last two surveys, it has not gone down. It has steadily inched up. And that's bothersome.
Flanked by the executive members, both present and past, as well as the chairman local organizing committee of PANCOV Gateway 26, Dr. Ekure revealed that a practical solution will be provided by workers in the child health space, policy makers, media professionals, and technological innovators as they brainstorm at the conference for 3 days.
More than 50% or about 50% is contributed by malnutrition. So when you have a child that is malnourished and then this disease comes and enters, that child is more likely to succumb to death than a child that is well nourished.
Speaking on the theme of the conference, Achieving Sustainable Development Goal SDG 3 and child health care through innovative funding models and technology-driven solutions, he said it is deliberate and timely as Nigeria continues to carry an unacceptable high burden of preventable neonatal and under 5 mortality, malnutrition, and vaccine-preventable diseases, and equitable access quality child health services. The local organizing chairman of the conference, Dr. Olufemi Akodu, disclosed that Dr. Femi Oyenuga will take artificial intelligence in pediatrics Medicare, while others, like Professor Ake Adeniyi, Dr. Olaseyide Letu, Professor Gbenga Mokolu of the University of Ilorin, Professor Adebola Oremadegun of the University of Ibadan, Dr. Theodore, are some of the resource persons expected at the 3-day conference in Abeokuta. Adefowora Adesonwu, OGTV News.
The Sustainable Development Goals are best appreciated when they move beyond policy documents to practical action and from global frameworks to local classrooms where real impact is felt. This philosophy informed the establishment of a technology hub by the Adeola Aziz Community Care Foundation at Emmanuel Anglican Primary School in Ijebu-Ode. The official launch and handover of the facility attracted top dignitaries, including the wife of the Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, and the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimo Talako Oyedele. Elizabeth Esson has the report.
At a time when technology is advancing rapidly, artificial intelligence, automation, and digital economy are reshaping the future at an unprecedented pace. Inclusive access to technology is no longer an option, but an urgent necessity. Driven by this reality, the Adiola Aziz Community Care Foundation, a non-governmental, non-political and non-profit organization, has deliberately embedded technology into its interventions with a focus on initiatives that not only address present challenges but also prepare the younger generation for the future.
This tech hub directly advances the sustainable development goals for quality education by strengthening learning through access and relevance. It aligns also with SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure.
The Tech Hub, officially commissioned and handed over to the management of Emmanuel Anglican Primary School, is a project of the Adiola Aziz Community Care Foundation in partnership with Teach for Nigeria.
This hub will provide a safe and supportive space where young minds can build foundational digital literacy, but most importantly, it will help our children begin to envision and prepare for futures that they never thought was possible.
Goodwill messages were delivered by stakeholders at the event, including the chairman of SUBEB, Ogun State, Evangelist Olalekun Ifede, the head teacher of Emmanuel Anglican Primary School, Mr. Lawrence Osho, commended the foundation for the gesture and pledged that the facility will be properly maintained. The official commissioning was performed by the wife of the governor of Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, alongside the deputy governor, Engineer Noimo Salakoyedele.
It will expose pupils to digital skills, support teachers in delivering modern lessons. It will also serve the wider community, reinforcing our government's commitment to improving basic education and preparing our children for a technology-driven world.
It is truly heartening to see individuals of means and organizations like the AACCF recognize the importance of giving back to society through such impactful channels. This tech hub is a testament to what is possible when private initiatives meet with public needs.
Fully insured by Leadway Assurance, the facility will also be replicated at St. James United Primary School, Mobalufon, Odogbelu, and Baptist Primary School, Bubu, in the Ijebu Northeast local government area. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
The Mayflower Old Students Association, MOSA, has held a press briefing as part of activities marking the 70th anniversary of Mayflower School, Ikenne, Ogun State. The briefing highlighted a week-long celebration lined up to reflect the school's legacy of academic excellence, discipline and national service, while also unveiling projects executed over the years and future plans for the growth of the institution. Ikim Agu has the report.
Mayflower School, Ikenne, Ogun State, is a renowned co-educational boarding institution founded by the pioneering educationist Tai Solarin on January 27, 1956. The school is widely known for its philosophy of self-reliance, public service, and rugged discipline, symbolized by its simple uniforms and rigorous routine, deliberately designed to produce independent, community-minded individuals. The press briefing held within the school premises brings together members of the Mayflower Old Students Association, school management, alumni, and media practitioners. Addressing journalists, the national president of the Mayflower Old Students Association, Otumba Wale Abdul, says the anniversary is not only a moment of thanksgiving, but also an opportunity to reflect on the school's enduring legacy in education, leadership development, and community service.
Another student-related program has been slated to take place on Wednesday, January 24, 2026, with students that excel in academic pursuits and exhibited high moral standards shall be rewarded with prizes worth millions of naira. The teaching and non-teaching staff are not excluded from this reward system. It is of note to mention that these awards are solely sponsored by SME.
Otumba Abdul adds that the ringing of the anniversary bell symbolizes continuity, resilience, and the institution's unwavering commitment to shaping future generations through sound education and character building. Also speaking, the school principal, Omolara Onosoya, alongside one of the founders' daughter, Corinne Sholari highlights the school's impact in producing distinguished alumni.
You put it on yourself, you come up with programs that will ensure that structures are on ground. We are a very unique school. I don't think there is a single school in Nigeria which has society where when students left the school, they've already learned a trade. So Dr. Tai Sholari was 70 years ahead of his time.
The briefing also called for strong media partnership, urging journalists to help project the rich history, achievements, and future visions of Mayflower School as it marks 70 years of existence. In Kem Agu, OGTV News.
Moving on now to the foreign scene. 10 police officers have been killed in a wave of coordinated gangster attacks in Guatemala that began with prison riots in 3 facilities and fanned out onto the streets of the capital in retribution killings, leading the government to declare a state of emergency. Officials confirmed that the 10th police officer died following the attacks as the country's lawmakers approved a 30-day state of emergency that had come into effect the previous day in a near-unanimous vote. The violence erupted on Saturday when inmates from the notorious Barrio 18 gang took dozens of guards hostage at 3 prisons and escalated the following day with attacks on police and in around Guatemala City after security forces regained control of a prison holding the gang's leader, Aldo El Lobo Dupe. On Monday, the government's gazette published President Bernardo Arevalo's declaration of the state of emergency, which limits freedom of action and demonstrations and allows police to arrest people without a judicial order if they are suspected gang members. And just before we leave, in the words of John Lennon, it says, "A dream you dream alone is only a dream you dream together is